So after the assignment, we got three ideas. We got the tent as a game, and we got the kitchen for home for kitchen appliance, and we've got the battery that stays for 6 months, and the winner is the battery for 6 months. And the reason is it really senses consumer needs. People don't want to charge every once in a while, and it seems to be real. You know, we can have a battery that stays for 6 months maybe, and maybe it will win because there's a lot of devices people carry around, and it's worth doing, and that's based on the vote of the people in the class. So after you got this idea, let's look at the product idea. So if we think about this battery for mobile that will last for 6 months without charge, it's a possible product. A company can see itself offering this to the market. So you need to make sure that this product is, you can think about a detailed version. So will it be big to stay for 6 months, or what type of technology that should be implemented in it, and what's a comparable product that is last for 6 months, and so you need to kind of think about this product concept, and you want to think about the product image. How will it look? What will customers perceive it? What other product it can go along with? Will it be more maybe for mobiles or tablets, maybe for laptops, maybe for other machines, flashlights? So the idea you can think about this product more. You want to look at the concept and then maybe test it, refer it to a testing or a new product concepts with groups of target consumers. So maybe you want to test, see how it will work, and maybe hire some people to check it, and then you start to develop the marketing strategy. Marketing strategy development refers to the initial marketing strategy for introducing the products to the market. So how will you introduce it? Will you call people? Will you make a big announcement? What type of teaser you might want to work? How much do you price it? Who are going to be the first people to buy it? Will you focus on a particular segment, age group, maybe business use? You want to maybe give it for students, for age group, maybe gender-wise. So you want to think about the target market. What value propositions? Will you sell it along with something else? What are the value propositions that you will maybe focus on? And then you estimate how much sales and profits you can reach. After you do the marketing strategy, you start to look at the business analysis. You want to review how much you will need to produce, how much it will cost you, how much you sell it, how much profit you will make, how many units you need to sell, how long will you have to sell that, and how that is going to satisfy the company objectives. Maybe your company require, if you make an investment of $5 million, you have to get maybe 20% return in 1 year. So is that going to be suitable as a new project or a new product? You want to involve the creation and testing of one of the more physical versions by the R&D engineering department. So here, you want to actually make the product. You want to actually go to the labs, to the engineers, to the manufacturers, make one. It will require investment, and show whether this product idea, it really can be workable. You see, that will be the challenge. How can we make it workable to the point it achieves its purpose? And then you need to test it. You need to have 6 months to test this battery. It will last for 6 months, right? So maybe you want to develop it this month and make it last for 6 months, another one after a month, and wait another 6 months and see. And at the end of the 6 months, you may find some new defects or issues that need to be solved. This can take a while, right? So test marketing is the stage at which the product and marketing program are introduced into more realistic marketing setting. It provides the marketer with an experience in testing the product and entire marketing program before full introduction. So maybe you want to test it in a real situation, you give it to actual people, see what they will say, or actually put it for sale maybe in a particular location or to a particular segment, and see what happens. When you come to testing, there are 3 types of testing. You can do a standard test, you can do a controlled test, and a simulated test. Simulated test is based on computer software. You actually don't sell anything. But there are some computer software that has previous information. How many people buy batteries? How much battery lifetime they need? And this software will kind of estimate in the battery business, this is the size of the market, this is the potential number, and if we make these assumptions, then this is how much we can sell. So that's simulated. And of course in a simulated, you only do it behind the computer. In a controlled test, that's when you do the scientific method. You have a group and a control group, and then these people, you give them this battery, these people, you don't give them this battery. After 6 months, you see their satisfaction with this and satisfaction with that. So, or you do a standard test where you actually go, sell it, see what people respond, and you hope you get the results. There's no control. Yeah, you test it in a market.
It means test it in a market.
Yeah, you test it in the market. You maybe if you're making these batteries, you just test it on Sana'a market. Let's do it in Dubai market and see what people will respond in a particular location. Now, of course, when you talk about these testing, there are advantages and disadvantages. Advantages of a simulated test is it's less expensive than any other test. It is fast and it's restricted access by its competitors. Remember, if you have a new product and you go test it, your competitors see it, right? And if you test it for 6 months, after 6 months, 2-3 competitors have already, started to compete with you. So an advantage with a simulated test is that competitors don't get to see it. And the disadvantage is it's not considered as reliable and accurate due to the controlled settings. It's only inside the computer, so it's not a good test. Strategy development when firms test markets, when firms may not test for markets. So depending on your product, you want to have either you have to test or you don't have to test. So when do you have to test? When firms test the market, new product with large investments. If you're going to make a big investment, you have to do a test because you don't want to spend the whole money and then find out it's a failed test or a failed product. Uncertainty about the product or marketing program. So if there's high uncertainty, you want to make sure you test it. And when the firms may not test the market is if it's a simple line extension. Let's say I am Baskin-Robbins. I'm doing this one new flavor. What flavor do you suggest as a new flavor? Flavor with, peanuts. Try it. It's okay. You can just don't test it. Just do it. It will work. If it fails, it's not a big loss. If you copy a competitor product, you don't have to test it because your competitor already did. Remember when we talked about, Samsung and Apple and they went to the court and there is a case. Samsung, they just see this idea works, just do it. Right? They copy ideas. No need for testing. If it's a low cost, you just do it. And if management is confident about it, you just go ahead and do it. Marketing strategy development is, in the last stage here is commercialization. Commercialization basically is the introduction of the new product. So that's, you decide, okay, we're good, we will do these batteries, we will launch them in October, we will launch them in New York, and we will plan it to roll out, in those locations. So you make your plan, what you will do. Managing new product development, successful new product development should be customer-centered. You need to make a team. You need to be systematic in what you do. You want to focus on your customers. Let's see, it says new ways to solve customer problems, creating more customer satisfying experience. So if you take this example of the battery, it basically solves customer problem. Having to, power, having to charge. So customers have a problem with charging, so this will solve the problem. Sequential new product development. Company departments work closely together individually to complete each stage of the process before passing it along to the next department, or increasing control is risky and more complex product may be slow. So when you do this new product, probably if you're in the business of accessories and you're in the business of computer accessories and you start to think about the different components of your computers and you think about the batteries and then you develop your batteries, you make them stay for 8 hours, you make them stay for 12 hours, and then you start to think about maybe we make them for 6 months. So you can see there's a sequential. So maybe, before you start with the 6 months, you consider about, maybe 2 days, maybe 4 days, and because that's how development will eventually happen. And always think about it from a team perspective. Company departments work closely together in cross-functional teams. So you get someone from the production of batteries, someone from the power processing. How can we make it consume less? Someone from different components in the computer example, in order to see how you can increase effectiveness. And you also need to be systematic. Innovation departments approaches that collect the reviews, evaluations, manage new product ideas. So don't jump all at once, just take it step by step and be systematic. So you take the battery, you see how to improve it, you take the processor, how you improve it, and you do a systematic review of development. That's how you can come up with new great products. Creating an innovation-oriented culture, so you want everyone in your company to be creative and thinking of new ideas, and yields a large number of new product ideas. Alright, so that's the end of this, how you come up with a new product, and the next is product life cycle strategies.